Welcome to Peacefinder's Classical Chinese Medicine series. In today's lecture, we will explore lines 196 and 197 from the Shang Han Lun, where a disease of the greater Yang stage shifts into the Yang Ming stage, and what are the obvious signs of the Yang Ming stage. Line 196, at the initial stage of a greater Yang disorder, when sweating is induced but the sweat emerges incompletely, the condition then shifts to the Yang brightness stage. Line 196 begins with the greater Yang stage, where sweating is initially promoted, but the sweating is incomplete, either too short, too weak, or only partial. Because the evil is not fully expelled, it enters the interior and transforms into internal heat. This process marks a shift into Yang Ming dryness, a condition where the heat is trapped and the bowel may become blocked. Line 197, in cold damage with heat effusion but no sweat, accompanied by retching and inability to eat, if instead there appears a subtle, continuous form of sweating, described as Juran, this indicates a transformation into the Yang brightness stage. Line 197 describes a different scenario. In cold damage, if there's no proper promotion of sweating but heat enters the interior, the result may be streaming sweat. We explain this kind of Yang Ming streaming sweat as sweating subtly and continuously, beaded, a light but persistent trickling of sweat due to interior heat disturbance. This type of sweat is not curative. Instead, it reflects interior dryness, heat pushing fluids outward. At the same time, patients may experience retching and an inability to eat due to stomach yang hyperactivity. In line 196, the sweating is insufficient and the evil enters the interior, transforming into Yang Ming dryness. In line 197, the heat is already exuberant and the body produces streaming sweat that fails to resolve the condition. In both cases, treatment requires clearing interior heat. But while line 196 focuses on transformation, line 197 tells us of the fluid loss and stomach qi rebellion that comes from internal heat. One key feature of Yang Ming disease is continuous streaming sweat, where the fluids bubble up from within, a hallmark of interior heat. This beaded sweat is a defining sign of Yang Ming's exterior manifestation. It occurs because the internal dryness heat steams the body's fluids outward. When this happens, treatment must aim to resolve the Yang Ming heat, clear the internal heat, and stop the streaming sweat. Once the internal heat is cleared, the sweating will cease, and the body's fluids will be safeguarded.